Right guys, figure out to take you through my day today. So this is a pretty important squat session that I have today. Really, with where I'm at in prep being roughly 5 weeks out right now, I need this session to go pretty well. I have a number in mind. Obviously it's going to be a range though, depending on how I feel. But if this moves the way I want it to, it means I'm probably ready to keep going on with prep. I have momentum. Or if I don't do very well today, we'll probably need to take, some time to build some more momentum and compete more early summer. So we'll see what happens. I'm feeling much better than I was last week. I've been dealing with some pretty severe gastrointestinal issues. I realize I have a pretty bad gluten intolerance. I don't think it's celiac disease, but it is to the point where it was contributing to some pretty severe malabsorption. January was really, really rough. I lost about 4 pounds just because I literally could not absorb my food. I was eating literally upwards of 6,000 calories a day, and I was losing weight, which was really concerning for obvious reasons. Then I just realized it was, a gluten and sensitivity/intolerance because my grandma and my cousins have this issue. Our grandma is celiac. I do need to get a test done just to make sure, but ever since really cutting gluten out of my diet, I felt significantly better, much less bloated, better digestion, normal bowel movements, which have been, nice to have for once. It's been a lot. It's been kind of tough past week, but how I like to reframe things is that 1 week of training really doesn't mean anything. You have to pay attention to trends in training. Also, I peaked pretty significantly on week 3s. I changed from 4-week blocks to 3-week blocks because I realized that I peak in 3 weeks instead of 4. So that's been helpful, but I have a pretty significant peak or uptick in my E1RM on week 3s, whereas week 1 and 2. Pretty low, so I think that's also important for me to remind myself so I can pace my progression better. But yeah, right now I'm just getting my morning cardio, doing some flight work check-ins, working on updates right now. Have some calls all morning. I'll be heading out to the gym around 1. I'll show you guys that. Hey Daniel, so thanks for your check-in, man. So first off, coming out of a cut, obviously going to feel better pretty quickly because of that increased energy availability. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a time to come back, but hearing that you're already feeling better, I think that really means that we didn't go too low with your body fat, because if you were feeling like shit still, or have a really extended recovery period, it probably means that we got a little bit below your body fat selling range. So I think we're still in a good spot. Really great cut going from really 197, 198 to 187 to 188, especially after the reintroduction of, a little bit more food. Obviously it's not that much more, man, but you were not in a very big deficit. So, my whole plan here is let this body weight stabilize for about another week or so, and it'll probably push you up another about 250 calories and then keep the bulk going in that way. Also really great to see that, it's easier to get in your steps, at this point. That's sort of how steps should be at a certain point.
Come on. Whoa. There we go. Fucking back.
so the gym is getting a new layout. Used to be the Dell platforms were like right there and right here. Then we moved this mono right here. Chris is sad because they missed the last one.
The last one.
I mean, they're okay. Yeah, he wants to be a quick lifter, but he's actually raw.
But I'm not.
But anyways, I'll stop harassing Chris. New layout. Mangusta. What do you think about the layout, Nick?
Well, it's boring, but I like that there's only one more monolith. It sucks.
Chris would like to fight you. You like monoliths.
My money's on Nick.
The money's on Nick? Okay. I mean, Nick weighs more than Chris, but Chris is fast. And he's Asian, so he's smart.
I'm a fucking ninja.
And you're just white. Unfortunately.
I'm holding back my tongue.
Say what you mean.
Tired of being what you want me to be, feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. Can't you see that you're smothering me, holding too tightly, afraid to lose control? 'Cause everything that you thought I would be is falling apart right in front of you. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. And every second I waste is more than I can take. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. And I know I may end up failing too, but I know you were just like me, with someone disappointed in you. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Tired of being what you want me to be. I've become so numb, I can't feel.
All right, so that session went significantly better than last week's session went. You know, the reality is that sometimes in powerlifting you just have really bad days. They're tough to deal with, especially in prep. But that's why it's important to look at trends and not just like one session. And I knew that my trend was overall up. And so really I just knew that based on how hard last week was, making like a smaller jump around like 2 to 3% made most sense for this week. And I knew on my last warm up with 474, I'm like, yeah, like I got this today. Felt heavy. I felt a little bit of like a tweak in my right erector, but you know, that's kind of what happens after I overshoot my squats. I feel it in my back quite a bit, but felt a lot better. You know, with my GI issues being under control, it's 196.2 today. Something that Paige is having me do as well is having about 500 milligrams of sodium pre-training, and then I'm also restarting creatine again accepted in a hydrochloride form, not because like it's superior, like monohydrate completely saturates your muscles with creatine, but because I have GI issues and it was starting to like give me some issues. But she recommended taking hydrochloride because it tends to dissolve better in water because it has a dipole moment. It's the hydrogen ion. It's basic chemistry. But so like I'm assuming with like the salt increase, like things will level out in about 3 days, because with your kidneys it takes about 3 days for them to really like get with the program with like understanding, oh, this is how much salt we have coming in, and it starts to secrete that much. So with 3 days of consistency with that, should be pretty normal. But with the creatine, you're actually, if you want to gain weight on creatine, because if you're not a creatine responder. So usually, 2-ish pounds, maybe 3-4, and this depends on how much you are taking. I recommend anywhere between 5 to 10 grams for most people. Bigger people need more than, also if you're vegetarian, don't have as much meat, you probably need more creatine. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But overall, like, still right on track. Tomorrow, I have bench press, so I will show you guys how that goes.